Cake combs, or frosting smoothers, or icing scrapers come in lots of different shapes and sizes and materials, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use my favourite tool for smooth frosting, a metal cake comb, with my top tips and tricks to get the best results. When you layer your cake in fillings, check as you position each layer that it's directly on top of the layer below, so the cake is straight, not leaning. I really recommend chilling the cake before you frost it, 30 minutes in the fridge or 15 minutes in the freezer, to set the filling and make the cake more sturdy and less crumbly. Cover it in a crumb coat, which is a thin layer of frosting to trap any crumbs that come off the cake, and this doesn't need to be super neat, but the sides of the cake should still be straight and the top should be level. Put the cake back into the fridge for 30 minutes or the freezer for 15 minutes to set the crumb coat, and then spread on your next layer of frosting. And here's where the metal cake comb makes its entrance. Push the base down on the cake board to line it up straight, and hold it at an angle so it's not pressed directly against the cake, but at a diagonal. And use very, very light pressure against the cake as you spin the turntable and hold the comb still, so the turntable is doing all of the work and the cake comb is just lightly skimming over the surface of the frosting. It's not going to look perfect after your first scrape. Go around the cake a few times and then spread more frosting over any indents or shallow areas, and then scrape again, until the cake is fairly smooth. And next, here's the hack for super smooth frosting: heat. There are 3 methods that I love for warming up a metal cake comb. The first is a blowtorch, which is the quickest, but you have to be careful because you don't want the metal to be hot, just warm. So after you run the flame up and down the comb a few times, rub the metal with a towel or cloth to cool it down, and pinch the metal to check it's just barely warm, not hot. Then scrape around the cake and the warm metal will glide over the frosting and drag it to fill in any shallow imperfections, leaving the surface of the frosting really, really smooth. All of the tools I love to use to heat up a metal cake comb rely on having a straight cake to begin with and a crumb coat to trap any crumbs that come off the cake before the final layer of frosting. You can use a hairdryer, which takes a bit longer than a blowtorch, but the heat isn't as intense, so you won't have to wait long for it to cool down to be just warm. I should mention that however you choose to warm up the metal, it's only going to smooth out shallow dents or patches in the frosting. So if you have deeper gaps like this area up here, you'll need to spread on more frosting to fill those in before scraping around the cake, and only then will the warm metal smooth out the frosting properly. And then the third way to heat up a metal cake comb is to use hot water, running from the tap, or you can pour it into a pan and dip your cake comb into it, and then dry it off and check it's warm, not hot, and then scrape around your cake with it. People often ask me if using hot metal will change the color of frosting, and the answer is yes if you use hot metal. But the metal shouldn't be hot when you use it on your frosting, only warm. I think I've said that maybe 5 times in this video. As long as the metal is just warm, you won't turn white buttercream yellow or change any other color. A warm metal cake comb is excellent for shaped cakes, where you're smoothing curves and sharp angles and moving the comb around a lot. And a metal cake comb can be used for more than just smooth frosting. It's strong enough to clean your surfaces after buttercream or sugar or melted chocolate has set. And this is a much easier way to clean up than scrubbing or smearing the mess everywhere while it's still soft and sticky. Metal cake combs are also really useful for moving cakes around because of their sharp edges to slice underneath a cake and wide, strong surface to support the cake as you lift it and lower it down onto a cake stand or platter or a clean cake board. If you have any questions about how to use a metal cake comb, ask them in the comments. I'd love to help you. And visit my cake school on BritishGirlBakes.com to learn hundreds of cake decorating techniques and designs with my online courses and memberships. See you there!